Hey guys, welcome to On the Road Truck Simulator. Back at it again, of course, with part 5 of the On the Road series. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far, and of course, but today, I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to not talk about the game at all. I'm just going to do driving and talking about heavy metal music. So this is actually going to be part 5. It's going to be called Metalhead Trucking. So this is all heavy metal related. It's not going to be anything about the game at all. The game will just be the background. Me will be driving, and all this is not going to be talked about. So yeah, as you say, I've got the playlist on the channel, so you'll see, and I've got a good few videos up now, so thank you very much for checking them out, and I'm really getting good views at these videos, so thank you very much for checking these videos out and giving the likes as well. So yeah, just got the scania here. We're currently in Magdeburg, I think that's how you pronounce it. We're at the pet shop company, so we're going to set a driveway for you guys now, and I won't do too long, just do about 40 minutes. And where should we go? And so hopefully you guys don't mind, but I mean, we'll do 2 deliveries, I think, 2 short deliveries, and don't know where it's just that we go, but I think we'll go to Berlin should be alright. And I think we can manage cat toys to Berlin, so we'll take that, and yeah, and we'll head on our way. So so as I say, this is going to be all completely heavy metal, so I'm not going to talk about the game at all. So we'll get on to this. Come see me personally. This is more like me as a metalhead personally. I'm going to be talking about. So I'm going to just talk about life as a metalhead. So so I'm going to get this started now, so hopefully you enjoy it. So I'll just get this truck started up for you guys. I think I started, did I shut the doors actually? Let me check. I think I realised I didn't have the doors shut. So, my bad. So that's a bit of a bad start there. Me shutting the doors without me leaving. So yeah, let's hop on board and we'll start this conversation. So yeah, this is going to be all about me as a metalhead. So I've been into metal music for quite a long time. I started getting into metal music in my early teens. I think I was about 13, 14 I got into metal. So yeah, and I got to change my hours, I think. So it's about 13, 14 I got into heavy metal, so I've been into metal since my teens, so it's been quite a long time, and now I'm 25 at the moment. So yeah, and just one of the things that actually got me into metal was with the long hair, pretty much. That's what started the metal sort of journey. Heavy metal, it's pretty much seeing these people with the long hair was I was quite fascinated with that sort of thing. So here. So yeah, I mean, it's quite surprising that you didn't think the long hair was the thing that got me into metal. Let me get my lights up. But yeah, that's what got me into metal, and so the long hair pretty much, I got quite fascinated with metalheads with long hair. It's pretty much the thing about metal music. The long hair was pretty much the main thing about metal. So yeah, pretty much, and just to look cool on people as well. I mean, it looked cool on them as well, so that's what the one there was the thing about metal music. And yeah, I mean, you don't always get metalheads with one there, of course. You get metalheads with beards, long beards, and all shaved off pretty much. So you always get that type of metalhead as well. You get 2 types. You get long beards and shaved heads, and you get long hair with beards. So that's the 2 type of metalheads. You gotta get undercuts types as well. Like, that's another thing. Like the sort of Viking sort of type hairstyles is always cool on a metalhead as well. So yeah, I mean, that's cool. But yeah, but going on the main aspects, I mean, I've got into metal I think when I was 14, so I've been into metal for a very long time now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, so the first band I actually listened to and got me into the metal was a band called Bullet for My Valentine. They were like the first ever band I listened to that got me into metal was Bullet for My Valentine, and they're Welsh bands, one Welsh metal band, and they're pretty successful as well. I mean, they've been around for a very long time, and obviously they've released plenty of albums. I mean, and that's the band I just started listening to them, and this is what started the Metalhead, the metal music journey pretty much, is the journey to metal, and is Bullet for My Valentine. It's not like Sabbath or all these original OG bands, but I mean, obviously modern bands that can always start the metal journey as well. Any band can listen and start the journey to metal. So yeah, that's what started my journey, was Bullet for My Valentine. So it's quite surprising. And there was a point as well, I was listening to sort of pop punk as well, like My Chemical Romance as well. I mean, quite surprising. I was actually listening to My Chemical. Whoa, this band. I don't even know what is going on here. It's not even going. Come on. Yeah, it was the journey. It was Bullet for My Valentine got me in, and obviously My Chemical. I was listening to My Chemical Romance as well. That was another band that I was quite into as well. Was My Chemical Romance as well. I mean, I wasn't really into them as much, but I just researched them, and then I started listening to a lot of these bands as well. So My Chemical Romance, I was looking up them as well. Of course, they obviously didn't have the long hair, but I mean, it was just a band I was quite into as well when I just looked at them, and then I started listening to them. And then obviously if I wanted to research metal bands, then that's what I mean, and I obviously started that as well. So I looked at Bullet for My Valentine, and then obviously looked at other bands as well. Obviously looked at Rawkus Redz and Deicide and all that as well. Researched all these bands. Like, there's so many bands out there, I mean, of course. So yeah, but quite surprisingly, I was listening to My Chemical Romance. Like, I had to sort of I've sort of researched the emo stuff I was listening to, but I wasn't like an emo at all. I was a metalhead, so I didn't do all that stuff at all. So I didn't even have long hair at the time I got into metal, so I gradually started growing my hair, I think a good amount of years later actually. So I didn't grow my hair straight away when I first started getting into metal. So I mean, I've been growing my hair for about 5 years, but it's really long now. Like, of course I have long hair now, as you probably maybe see by my thumbnail, of course. And yeah, so, or if you see me in my interviews, you'll see I've got long hair on these. So of course I've got long hair nowadays, fully long hair, of course. And I mean, I've been growing that for quite a while now, about 5 years. So I've been having one for about 5 years. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's part of metal. Of course, I don't do the tattoos or piercings of that at all. But I mean, there's always another thing about metal music as well. Is some metalheads appreciate tattoos and piercings. Like, that's another thing they like to do. Every metalhead out there has different tattooed piercings and different appearances. So you have different types of metalheads out there. They have different piercings and they have different tattoos, and they have different other things as well. I find this thing like as well. I mean, I like piercings on metalheads. It's like, I don't mind that. So just like the long hair metalheads. That's the main thing which is cool about metalhead, is the long hair. I like the beards as well, like the beards or moustaches as well. That's another good thing about metalheads. So yeah, we'll go off a wee bit of that now. Let's talk about bands. So personally, I enjoy thrash metal. I enjoy thrash metal to this day. Thrash metal is always my number one genre I listen to. Metal, groove metal as well. I like a bit groove as well. But I don't mind any genres, because obviously if you're a metalhead, you listen to all genres of metal. It's not just you listen to the same genre of metal or deathcore, metalcore, but you listen to black metal or thrash metal, anything. But personally, I enjoy thrash metal. Thrash metal is always great. I like the big four. I like Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica. Metallica is probably one of the other bands that I actually go into to get into the sort of heavier stuff, was Metallica. I heard it in Nassau Band as well, and it was a really good tune. The build up to Nassau Band, that's a great track, great opening track to the album, of course. So I really enjoy it, Nassau Band. But I enjoy thrash metal in general. I like Metallica, I like Slayer, I like Megadeth, I like Anthrax. I do like the other thrash metal bands. I like of course Overkill and Testament and Exodus and Defend, all these sort of Bay Area thrash metal bands, not just their sort of big four. You got your sort of mid-size, your big two, bigger sort of bigger, but not the big four, big thrash bands, but not the big four, of course, as well. So yeah, we've got them as well, and I do enjoy a bit of that as well. So yeah, and then I do enjoy modern metal as well. I enjoy a bit of Lamb of God. I like Devil Driver. I like Gajira, like these bands. So that's like just then underneath just saying all these bands I enjoy. But yeah, I mean, I should just go through the aspects of the genres a wee bit as well. So I mean, yeah, it's me just talking me personally as a metalhead. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's other bands. I mean, like deathcore bands as well. You got the Artist Murder. You got Whitechapel. You got Whitechapel. You got Pathway Drive. You got all these deathcore, metalcore bands as well. Just very good bands. I mean, there's so many great bands out there that you can just check out. So yeah, I mean, it's a big genre. I mean, yeah. So just don't get me wrong. Like, enjoy loads of metal. I mean, don't always enjoy the same genre. I mean, I like Meshuggah. I like Fear Factory. I like them. But yeah, but maybe going through a more detail aspect. I mean, I just like the fashion of metal as well. I like how thrash metal sort of got in the sort of battle jackets and the bullet belts. That was always the thing about thrash metal: the battle jackets, bullet belts, the tight jeans. I like especially the shoes as well, like the old Nike Air Maxes, all these old school thrash metal shoes they have back in the day. Like, they were the shoes pretty much all thrashers we wear on. They were Adidas or Nike high top boots and trainers. So I mean, you just don't see many thrashers nowadays. That was just the thing back in the days, like the days of thrash. All that was a proper thing, like bullet belts. I mean, they still wear battle jackets. Still thrashers out there. I can see battle jackets are still not died away. But I mean, maybe just the shoes and maybe the bullet belts is maybe a bit less popular now. But that's the thing about thrash these days. It changes. But yeah, I enjoy thrash. Thrash metal's great. I always like the pounding of the guitars and the drums, and it's always aggressive and just anger as well, full of anger, always extreme as well. So I think that's a big thing about thrash metal, so it gets your anger out as well. And so yeah, and I'm going through death metal as well. That's another great genre. I enjoy a bit of death metal, like Kommander, of course. They're kind of like the main sort of death metal band out there. Like, if you hear about Hammer Smash Bass, then, or Ace and Tuna and that, if you watch Ace and Tuna or something, you know Kommander's one there, so you would know the band maybe without knowing about it. So yeah, quite surprising you wouldn't know about that as well. Like, that was how they won as well. That's maybe how they got a bit more than one. But yeah, Kommander, Hammer Smash Bass, everyone knows that song, of course. Great classic. The OG, maybe like the OG for you think about the OG death metal band, but I think Morbid Angel might be the OG death metal band. Morbid Angel, great as well. And Obituary, it's quite sort of death thrash metal as well. It's a bit sort of thrashy as well, but I mean, they're great death metal bands. And Deicide, like so many great death bands, and they sort of go for more sort of slicked back sort of fashion. They don't really wear much I mean, I think they wear cargo pants, and I think they might go for bullet belts as well, but maybe not much, maybe just sort of slicked back and cargo pants. They wear maybe boots or sneakers, maybe DC sneakers, trainers, of course skater shoes, and they go for that. I think a lot of them do that nowadays. That's just the thing about metalheads, they wear skater shoes. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, these vehicles are slowing down. Yeah, there is sneakers these days, and like DC and vans, we have vans as well. That's the thing about a lot of these bands. But I do like the death metal fashion, it's quite cool. A lot of death metal seems more like the long hair as well, and the windmill, and it's all about that as well. Like Camelot's was quite well known for that windmill, and like George Fisher and that, of course. Just he's the sort of man that does all the windmill, and it's quite well known. So you see him on stage, he does all that. But yeah, I mean, just that's the thing of it. And death metal, it's a bit fashion's a bit more sort of way back. You like the blood in that as well. I mean, death metal's all about the blood. And you think about Slayer as well, was a bit more like the blood in that as well. They sort of like the blood and that as well. I mean, Slayer, that's great. They're a great band. So it's just so many genres out there to pick what band you like in that as well. So it's just a great thing. And you obviously got gothic metal as well. I mean, I don't listen to much gothic metal, but I mean Paradise Lost. I own some Paradise Lost albums. I mean, I do like some Paradise Lost, and so they're quite well known. And if you listen to My Dying Bride as well, like this sort of proper gothic metal that you might know. And yeah, you got all that as well. I mean, if you enjoy a bit of gothic metal, the way all the sort of Black Crows and a bit informal, but they also wear the sort of makeup on as well. It's the thing about gothic metal. It's a bit less. It's not anger. It's not aggressive music. It's like a bit more calm and aggressive. And like thrash metal and death metal just gets your aggression going, like your juices going. It's a more sort of aggressive genre, thrash death metal. And yeah, I do like a lot of other thrash metal as well. I like the German thrash metal, like Creator and then Soedesco and Tankard and Destruction. Like they're like the big four thrash, the big four German thrash, of course. So they just got so many great thrash metal bands, and I like a lot of local thrash bands like Zentrix and Sabbath and Onslaught and stuff like that, like UK thrash. So it was a big thing as well. Like generally thrash was big in the 80s. That was the thing about thrash metal, it was always a big genre in the 80s. Everyone we appreciated thrash metal a lot more. So yeah, I mean that's the thing about thrash metal. It was popular in the 80s, but I mean it just seems to be less popular nowadays as you think about it as well. So I don't know if it's popular in the big mainstream scene, but I mean it was popular back in the days, of course. I mean, because the 80s was the thing about thrash metal these days. So yeah, I mean obviously you got local thrash bands out there now. Like that's the thing about nowadays, you get lots of local thrash metal bands, but you don't get very many big thrash bands nowadays. You just still got the legends that are still going now, of course. Obviously Slayer aren't anymore now. Obviously Slayer split up now, but I mean it was great seeing Slayer for the last time. I mean I saw them in the last two in 2018 and through in Glasgow. I mean it was just great seeing them, Lamb of God in that well, and obviously Anthrax. There were some great bands supporting that night, but that was a great night. Obviously the only time I saw Slayer pretty much, and then that's it. I mean they also played at Download Festival, was pretty much the last ever time they played in the UK was Download 2019. So, and obviously they split up in the end of 2019. So yeah, that's the thing, they were great bands. Slayer, I mean obviously they're gone now unfortunately. I was there with some great thrash bands, but it's just the thing about these bands nowadays, they're going to be disappearing in the future. Like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden might not be going any longer, but they're just great what they do. Like, I mean they've been going on for years. I mean they're great bands. Obviously they're not going to be going any longer, so that's the thing. So yeah. But yeah, going back to, I keep this conversation pretty much all over the place pretty much. There's so much to talk about metal. I mean, the metalcore stuff as well, and obviously that's like sort of modern day. This is kind of what, I mean, metalcore seems to be like the current thing for bands. I mean, to do is metalcore. That seems to be the first thing to do when the first thing to do is metalcore, and usually is one of the sort of primary genres to do. So yeah, there's so many metalcore bands out there. You got the Parkway Drive, you got the Rawkus Redz, you got African Alexandria, of course, as well. I mean, that's another thing about metalcore. I mean, metalcore is obviously kind of like the most of the bands you would hear on the radio these days, because that seems the popular genre at the moment is metalcore. I mean, I don't mind metalcore. I mean, I do like that stuff, but I mean, I've always been a thrash head more, but I mean, I can also do other genres, of course. So if you do like, I don't mind metalcore. Metalcore is a good genre as well to listen to. I mean, there's so many bands out there that do metalcore. I mean, obviously the fashion in metalcore is obviously just straightforward. You don't really need to buy a band t-shirt on, you just really need to wear Nike shirts or and ripped jeans, skinny jeans. You know, obviously wear like Vans or Nike trainers. You don't really wear much, really, like, as in, it's not very much if you've been a metalhead when you're a deathcore or metalcore head, if you want to say a hardcore fan. You're just kind of a bit more straightforward to your look. Like, you don't even have to have long hair. It's more about sort of sort of more casual, sort of straightforward look when you're doing metalcore. So you're just yourself, really. If you want to be in a deathcore band, you can just get tattoos or something, because that seems like the thing to do. Like lots of core fans, they have tats, and they have of course they have piercings as well. I mean, a lot of them seem to just keep it a bit simple. Like it's not like a thing that they do. You do get them wearing bad t-shirts, but it's not really a thing to do. And so I always think metalcore is a bit sort of straightforward. So you see a lot of them just wearing your sort of normal shirts and that sort of stuff when you're sort of supermarket or something you buy, and that's it. You don't really have any band shirts on at all. But yeah, so normally metalcore is a bit straightforward, but they know they would be into metal. So a lot of metalcore fans would appreciate a lot of other genres of metal as well. But yeah, and I do like a bit of that sort of modern industrial metal, industrial gothic metal as well, like Wednesday 13 and Mostly Some Light. I do like these bands as well. Like they're like the modern sort of bands you see, like Mostly Some Light and Wednesday 13. If that's kind of like the sort of modern day metal, like of course Wednesday 13. I mean, I like Wednesday 13. I saw them at Bloodstock actually in 2018, and Wednesday 13 of course Mr. 13 myself, I guess that's his real name, Wednesday 13. Because that was his stage name, Wednesday 13, I think, but obviously got his band, of course. I mean, I do enjoy a bit Wednesday 13, so they're pretty good, and I enjoy a bit Motionless and White as well. They're the sort of modern core bands. There's my speed camera ticket there, and you can see these speed cameras in this game, so we'd know that already. Oh, and in the long lane, and I'll just go straight on. Yeah, but yeah, all that as well. Motionless and White are great. I mean, I like their music. I mean, they're kind of sort of modern industrial EDM sort of metalcore sort of sound, but I mean they're sort of just, I mean they're sort of that, they go for sort of metalcore sort of sound as well in their music. I mean, I like what they do. I mean, I do listen to a bit of Motionless and White now and again, but I've not seen them live before. Also, like the song Death Match is very good to listen to. It's always a good song. So you're familiar with that one. I mean, just sort of straightforward song, but I mean, you probably, it's obviously a fairly older song now from them, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, Motionless and White, okay, they're kind of like modern industrial gothic metal, and obviously go for that sort of face paint and that as well. It's the thing about modern day stuff, it's all different and all varies in that as well. And I don't mind black metal. I listen to a bit of black metal as well, and black metal's pretty cool. Obviously you need to go to Norway to see the true extent of black metal, probably so many black metal bands living in the forests. That's the thing with black metal, it's a popular genre up there. Yeah, so yeah, and yeah, they always go for the face paint and that. and they go for the sort of boots and cargo pants. And so you got like Immortal and Boggy, you got Baffaway, all these bands that play black metal. And yeah, so all that as well. And you got Gram metal as well, if you like a bit Gram rock, stuff like that. It's obviously not about a proper genre anymore, like obviously like it's kind of almost dead, so that genre, Gram metal in a way. I mean there's not that many Gram bands out there now. I mean you also got Multicrew, like obviously Multicrew being the kings of that sort of genre. Skid Row, and of course in the UK Death Weapon is kind of like a UK sort of big UK Gram band. Yeah, but we've got a few great bands. I mean at Gram, I mean, obviously there's a local scene now, as I say. I mean, it's probably not a big scene mainstream now, but I mean, Gram metal is obviously not a proper genre. I mean, it was always a big genre in the 80s, because it was all full of long hair, full of makeup, full of multicoloured hair. Every Gram metalhead probably completely different. So, yeah, I mean, if you enjoy a bit Gram metal, and it's obviously a good few Gram fans out there, and I really appreciate that genre. I mean, it's honestly just a bit smaller now than it was. It's not like it's a fully sized, arena sized sort of bands now that do all that nowadays. So you're going to stick with sort of smaller bands, local bands. So yeah, that's the thing. So it's not a big genre, not big genre nowadays. But yeah. So yeah, I mean there's just so many good bands. Like grunge as well has been a good genre as well. I know, and so yeah, if you enjoy like Alice in Chains and Nirvana and all that, it's another good genre to check out as well. And of course, if you enjoy a bit grunge is great as well. So yeah, I mean, I think I've kind of had my talk about genres now. I mean, there's so much to cover and Metalhead Trucking. There's so much to do. So yeah, I'm going to move on to something else. So something I would talk about else in metal, and I mean, is some of the bands, some a bit more about the local bands. So that's then obviously the genre of this, as you say. I mean, I can always talk about more in part 2, because I'm not going to keep making one part. I'm going to make this a sort of multi-series heavy metal trucking, and that'll be the thing. So I'm going to keep this a sort of bigger, sort of one part at the moment. I'll keep this a multi-series sort of part. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy so many bands. I mean, I should say, like, it's hard to pick your favourite metal band. I mean, there's so many just great bands. I like all metal bands. I mean, I like all genres of metal. Like, I mean, there's, of course, there's just so many bands. I mean, too many bands, that's the name. I enjoy Opeth a lot as well. Like, talk about Opeth are great. They do some really cool sort of progressive death metal, and yeah, and I like Meshuggah as well, and really enjoy them. I mean, they just do like sort of, they're like one of the sort of OG gent bands, pretty much. Side all the sort of genty stuff. I mean, that's kind of sort of like metalcore sort of nowadays. It's kind of late to sort of metalcore. Of course, gent, it's just another sort of way to music, because you got all the Haas sort of cool vocals going on, and gent as well. So yeah, that's another thing about gent, is it's a proper genre. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of late to metalcore in a way. In a way, it's similar to a lot of what bands do. So what we'll do now, we'll take a return journey back, and we'll go back to where we were again. Actually, where were we again? If we can find a place, and we'll do a return journey. Excuse me if I'm. Find one. Yeah, it takes a wee while to find What are you waiting for as well? Oh, I didn't. Just sorry if I'm just being quiet here because I'm trying to find a place to go. I actually think that's just on the block, these ones. Yeah, but as I say, there's so many great genres and so many great genres of metal. I mean, and probably if I make my second part, I'll be talking about me in a band in that as well, because obviously I got in a band as well. I mean, I played in a great metal band, and you go on my YouTube channel, you can also see a band that's called Midge, so you can check that out as well. I mean, it's a great band. We of course we played some covers, Metallica covers in our band, so you can obviously check that out as well. So, and yeah, I try to find a place where we can go, and there's not any nearby places. And there's one just here that's on the block that we could just do. This is on just a wee sort of wind the block genre. And I mean, when the block sort of journey. So I don't know why I'm just doing a wee short journey. I want to do a longer journey. So we'll do this wee quickie, and then I'll do another journey somewhere as well. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to talk about some of the bands from around Scotland now, so some of our local bands. I'm going to talk about that now. So, if you probably know some bands from around Scotland, then there's some great bands. I mean, we've got good free thrash band. We've got Ifreann, a band called Ifreann. You can check them out, and they play sort of modern classic thrash metal. I mean, they're just great what they do. I mean, I enjoy what they do. I mean, they're just great what they do. I mean, yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it. I mean, got this hit this guy. Yeah, but yeah, some great bands. I mean, yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I don't know, I'm getting a wee bit lost here with conversations actually, and sorry if I'm just getting a wee bit mixed up. But yeah, we've got Ifreann, we've got another good thrash band called Disposable as well, from of course the one here as well, that's another local band. And you've got Dogtired as well, and they're pretty much named themselves after tired dogs. But I mean, they're great. I mean, they're pretty much like dog walkers. Like, that's what they do. Pretty much, it's their jobs, and the dog walkers. That's what they call Dogtired. But I'm just kidding on. No, not really that. Don't think they're pretty riffs. That's what their main job is the riff on stage. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you like Dogtired, then they're great. Great bands. Dogtired are great. And then you got another band, got another sort of newer band called Nassau as well, and I like their stuff, like sort of really nice and sort of progressive black metal, and progressive sort of progressive black metal. I think I say they are. I think that's what I call them. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but another great band, and of course one year, and. So, and you got King Witch as well, and of course they play like doom metal, and they play doom. And you got Wits of Spirit as well, another great band out at Grundy, sort of good sign from them. I like their stuff. I like seeing them live as well. I mean, they play some great stuff. I mean, I enjoy their stuff a lot. I mean. But I mean, yeah, I mean, and you got another band as well. I don't know why I'm saying so many bands, like I should just name them quick as well. So yeah, we've got Nassau, we've got Ifreann, modern thrash. You've got Disposable, which is another thrash metal band. I mean, they're sort of more sort of down-tuned thrash. They don't have their tunings up to E standards like Ifreann. They're a bit more sort of standard, old school sort of thrash. And then you got Disposable, which is of course a bit more still modern thrash, I say. But they're great as well. I mean, I enjoy a bit of Disposable. And so if you enjoy them, they're great as well. And you got Ramage Inc as well. I like a bit of Ramage Inc. Ramage Inc are awesome. And you got a sort of new supergroup sort of band as well called Anaxor as well. And if you like Anaxor, like they're pretty thrashy. And you got a few members from Dog Tired. I think you got members from Exploited. You got a member from Perpetua as well. It's another band as well, Perpetua and Exploited as well. And of course this is all Edinburgh bands I'm talking about as well. So this is Vasara. Of course I'm from Scotland as well, so you can probably tell. So yeah, Perpetua are great as well. They're like the sort of modern metal from here as well. And then I'll talk about other Scots bands as well. I can always talk about bands like Volcano X and Catalysis. I think it's Catalysis, I think they're called. And like that sort of bands from up north a wee bit from Dundee, and there's a couple of metal bands there as well. So you can always check them out as well. They're just great. I mean they play some very good metal, modern metal. I mean, so yeah, if you enjoy a bit of that, I mean that's also great stuff to check out as well. And Catalysis. So yeah. And yeah, there's so many great bands out there. I mean, there's a band called Red as well. It's pretty glam metal as well, and I mean, they seem to be doing quite well from what they did as well. I mean, yeah, Red. So that's another great band as well. They're from England actually, but I know the bass player was actually from Edinburgh, so he was a Scottish bass player. I mean, the bass player is of course from Scotland, so he was actually from Edinburgh. So it's quite surprising how they managed. It was a good journey for him to get in their band for England, since there's not that many glam bands from the UK or from Edinburgh. I think here in general, like, there's not that many glam bands in the UK nowadays. So like Red are great what they do as well. I like Red. So I can always read these things in the description box if you check the bands out. So yeah, if you check them out, I can read them in the description box for you guys to check out. So yeah, so they're great bands to check out. And I'll probably not mention every band, but I mean I like loads of Scottish bands. I mean, there's so many great bands. Oh yeah, we'll do another wee quick driveway again, and we'll actually finish it off. I think might do around the block again. Actually don't know but we'll do another quick one. So we've got another few bands. Yeah, I mean you can just check them out. And I've actually got footage of some of the bands on the gigs playlist if you check them out. Now also obviously got some local bands, of course. If you go to the gigs playlist, then I'll have it in the end of the video, of course, to check out. So you check out that, and I'll have and all that and on the end. So yeah, I mean another great band as well is Vasara as well. There's a band called Vasara, I think, as well to check out. I don't know if I'm saying these things correct and not doing too fast or too slow. I mean, it's just a good pace of genre. I mean, good paced. So yeah, there's delivery back to Magdeburg again. But I think I'm not going to bother doing that, so I might just call it. Just do a wee short journey again. So it's hard to do one thing at the one time, so I'm just a wee bit out of touch a wee bit. And so yeah, I don't know where I'm going to go. he's another job at Berlin again, so I'll do another wee sort of when the rock again. So we'll do that, and yeah, let's go to the freight hostels again. But yeah, if you always want to check out some local metal bands, then I'll leave some in the description box. It's always nice to get their names heard as well. I mean, so these are some Scottish bands that I just mentioned. I like Volcano X as well. They do traditional sort of metal as well. Volcano X, they're like sort of like the Iron Maidens from Dundee. But maybe a bit more glam metal going on there than traditional metal. Like, because I'll go in the cab since it's a bit quieter, and so yeah. But if you enjoy all these Scottish bands, there's so many great Scottish bands out there to check into. I mean, yeah, it's a great thing. I mean, yes, I'll talk about other things as well in this metal series as well. Can also just talk about me and the band as well, and maybe in another part as well. It's just a good series. I mean, I'm just going to keep doing this. I mean, just talk about heavy metal trucking, but obviously not playing metal music. Just me talking about metal trucking, heavy metal trucking. So yeah, that's what I mean. So this is why it's called Metalhead Trucking, of course. So yeah, just hope you guys enjoying this one so far, and Metalhead Trucking. So, and yeah, I mean, it's just we have a decent scene, like, of course, a metal scene in the UK, a local metal scene. It's pretty much thriving. When I see a lot of bands, like, of course, we've got Anaxor as well. It's another band to mention. Anaxor and Black Talon, like, they're like another thrash band. Or Anaxor and melodic death metal, and Black Talon are sort of thrash, old school thrash metal. I know the drummer Dave as well. He's a great drummer. He was actually our drummer as well for our band. Our band is called Midge, and if you see the video, Midge built at Opium, and from then 2018, and that was in our band. So you'll see me at the near side, it's me playing the guitar, and you see Dave with the long hair, our drummer. He's a great drummer, and he's always a great friend of mine as well. It's like what he does as well. He's a great drummer. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go for the person actually if you guys enjoy this a bit better. We don't crash into things. But yeah, our band was great. I mean, we also played at Opium, but we only played like a one-off gig, so we didn't really play anything after that. But I'll talk about more in the second part, more about bands wise. So I'm just hoping you guys enjoy me talking about genres of metal music and talking about local metal bands in Scotland. I mean, there's so many metal bands in the UK to check out. I mean, I just named a few of them as well, that's what I mean. So yeah, it's just a thing, like, it's just loads of bands to check out, and see lots of truckers and that as well. They're probably trucking along as well, listening to heavy metal. That's of course what I'm doing as well. I'm trucking and listening to heavy metal, of course. Oh, I'm going the wrong way now. So yeah, trucking and heavy metal, that's what it's about. And there's loads of people on the highway pretty much listening to this series of trucking. It's a nice chilled out way to do it as well, is to talk about heavy metal and trucking. So yeah, so this will be my last load actually, and I'll call this part done actually after this runway. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just great talking about metal. I mean, and just metal in general. It's always great music. Just the long hair and beards and that. It's always the good thing about metal. Beards and hair. It's about hair and that as well. And piercings and tats. And yeah, there's probably loads of truck drivers out there as well, trucking along with their long hair as well, and tattoos and beards and on the highway and that. But yeah, just hope you guys are enjoying this series so far, and I'm hoping I'm not going on for too long either. I mean, because I know this might be a bit too long, but I mean, I think I've been doing this for quite a while now, but I mean, after this I think I'm going to finish it off soon after this load, so yeah. But yeah, yeah, it's nice to be talking about genres. I've been talking about genres, I've been talking about local metal bands, and I think maybe in the next part I'll talk about bands, about me in a band and me, my sort of personal thing as a metalhead. So I'll talk more about that as well in the next part. It's me in a band, talking about my journeys in a band. Because obviously I've been in one and more bands as well, not just been in Midge. We've started a few projects obviously in the past. So yeah. But yeah, I had a few projects going on, but obviously they never took off. I mean, this band is lots of things that happen in bands. It's not a straightforward thing. I mean, you get ups and downs, I guess, but you do get there eventually. I mean, it's just a matter of time. But yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty much come back to the exact same place I was at before. Oh, this car again. I said this three wise that I went through and I didn't see that car. But yeah, but I'm going to, after I finish this one, I'm going to finish it off. So hopefully you guys will enjoy my first series of Metalhead Trucking. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, we'll just back it in that same warehouse again we were at earlier. I'm just going to make a mess of this road again. So that's the one piece in that. I'm not doing any damage points for doing that. It just isn't any room. Oh no, that's a bit of a pain. Don't tell me I'm stuck. But yeah, but in the next part I'll talk more about bands. I can just talk randomly. I'm not talking anything about this game. Like, this thing's all just been related to metal and driving along, playing this game, talking about heavy metal, but nothing about the aspects of the game this time. So it's always nice to go off topic. But yeah. So after we finish this off, that's we'll call this a day. I mean, been a bit of a quickie, but I mean, I hope you enjoyed this series. And you enjoyed this one. I mean, it's been great so far. I mean, we've been doing it for a long time. I mean, yeah, just nice to talk about heavy metal and trucking. No damage at all. Like doing that sort of messy back up there, it was quite bad. What I'll do is I'll shut this and this and down, and we'll turn the vehicle off. So yeah, it's been a great series. This is going to be a good first part of heavy metal trucking, Metalhead Trucking, of course. So yeah, we hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Make sure to check out my channel, CM Headbanger, give this video a like. Make sure to comment below, and I'll leave a description of bands at the end and in the description I'll leave a list of the bands as well to check out. And I'm sure a lot of these bands will be enjoying this as well, enjoying this trucking stream. I mean, it's nice to do trucking and heavy metal at the same time, talk about trucking and heavy metal, talking about heavy metal at the same time. So I'm going to continue this sort of series, sort of me, Metalhead Trucking, and I'll keep doing this, hopefully. If I run out of things to do, I'll just move on to something else, I guess. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys are enjoying my series of On The Road so far. I'll be continuing this as much as I can, and hopefully not too long until the next part drops as well. So soon enough we'll be able to cover that a bit more as well. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Make sure to check out the gigs playlists on the other side and On The Road playlists. And yeah, and then I'll catch you in the next video, and bye.